Hello, listeners. This is Sara from the Kahani Suno with Kabir and Sara podcast. कैसे हैं आप लोग आज? मैं तो बहुत खुश हूँ. My last story, The Reunion, has received a great response, lot of downloads, lot of listeners, and I'm very happy about that. If you haven't heard that story, please go ahead and give it a listen. I'm sure you won't be disappointed. I had written that story as an experiment wherein I wanted to see if a shorter version, a less intense, less dark, and a more lovey dovey kind of love story, how it would be received. And I am mighty happy that it has been received so well. In continuing with that, I had another story that was supposed to be actually released with the reunion, but we decided to release it separately so that we could see the response to both. So, this story is called No Surprises. Once again, a very short story. It's about the mother daughter bonding and how this reflects on a daughter's way of life when she is with her mother and without her mother. I'm hoping that this story also gets the kind of response and love that I got from the reunion. So, without much ado, let's get on with this short story titled No Surprises. I glanced up at the clock, 7:58 p.m. Any minute now, I would hear my mom call out to me saying that dinner was ready. It had happened for as long back as I could remember, and it still happened to this day. Mom always managed to get dinner ready between the hours of 7:55 and 8 p.m. Dinner's ready, her sharp, shrill voice rang out as if on cue. No surprises here. 2 minutes later, she would call out again, this time her tone taking that unmistakable sense of urgency. She would beckon me a couple of times more before I would head downstairs to the dining room, trying to avoid her glare, which would take exactly 12 seconds to morph into a look of extreme fondness. I cooked your favorite dish today, dear, she would say. No surprises here, too. Every single day, she managed to cook a favorite dish of mine, and even if she didn't, she would term it one and I would go along with it. Thanks, Mom, that looks yummy. I would say something to that effect before taking my assigned seat at the neatly laid but bursting at the seams dinner table. I could never stop wondering how she could cook so much food, and more importantly, why she took so much trouble for just the both of us. She would hardly eat anything, and I was not too fussy about what I ate. As long as it was edible and provided me with the nutrition to keep me away from starving to death, I was fine. It did not matter if it took hours to prepare or was served directly from the plant. I had tried to convey the same to my mother, to no avail though. Each night it was a different spread. Well thought of meat, starting off with a soup, followed by a salad and the main course, which would be at least 2 to 3 dishes, and of course, ending it with a delicious dessert. The conversation at the dinner table would be limited to her trying to get me to eat as much as possible, and me trying to outmaneuver her overtures and failing miserably in doing so. You should eat too, Mom, I would implore her midway through the meal, more to distract her from trying to get one last kofta into my system rather than being concerned about her not eating anything. I am too old for all that, my dear. I don't need the nutrition as much as you do. First of all, Mom, you're not all that old. Second of all, as we grow older, our bodies need more nutrition. You need to eat well to stay well. I do eat well. I keep eating throughout the day. Well, I don't think I've ever seen you eat anything much. Oh, I do. I eat the leftovers and also keep eating when I'm cooking. I'm so full by dinner time that I don't need to eat much. Enough about me. You should really try to finish all of the koftas. There's just 2 left. My protests would always fall on deaf ears, and by the time she had her way with me, I would be completely stuffed, unable to move from my seat. You made me overeat again, I would sulk. Overeat at your age? In our times, girls your age would eat double of what you did, she would say, smiling victoriously. I could never win an argument concerning food with her. Do not even know why I tried to do so each night. I'm going out for a run, Mom, I would shout out before heading outdoors. Don't take too long. It's not safe for a girl to be running outside alone at such a late hour. And it's safe for a guy, I presume? And I wouldn't be if you had not overfed me. Firstly, I did not overfeed you. And secondly, in our generations, girls your age would not be allowed to go outside by themselves, leave alone so late in the night. I would finish her sentence and sprint out before she would have a chance to say anything. I imagined her shaking her head as she would lament at the girls of this generation and how they worry too much about being thin, too thin, she would say, before she would make her way into the kitchen to take care of the dishes and everything else that went along with it. By the time I would return from my run, the house would be spick and span. My tub would be filled with hot water, and all I would have to do would be to soak in it before heading to a freshly made bed with clean sheets and a neatly arranged room where everything would be in its place. I would walk to my mother's room and peek in. There she would be, finally resting on the bed, sometimes reading a book, sometimes listening to music, and sometimes just staring at the walls. I would walk to her for a few minutes before heading out with a good night and a peck on her forehead. As soon as I would step out of the room, the lights in her room would go off. I loved her so much. There were no surprises in our lives, and I did not want any. I was extremely happy with my life, happy and contented. You should really start thinking about getting married. This conversation would crop up at least once a month, wherein my mom would try to convince me that a woman's real life did not begin until she got married, and that I was quickly passing the optimal age for getting married, thereby ruining my chances of landing a prize catch. She had been trying to make me believe that for the past couple of years, but miraculously, I had come out of it unscathed. This had been one and perhaps the only area where I had consistently been able to get the better of my mother in an argument. In our generation, women would have had a couple of kids by your age, she would lament. That doesn't necessarily mean they were married, would it? I would say, trying to make the tone of the lecture a little lighter. She would simply glare at me and carry on. What will you do after I'm dead and gone? She would ask. The same you would do after I'm dead and gone. Don't talk like that, she would say tearfully. I was just kidding, Mom. You should never say such things jokingly. And why not? They could come true, you know. Well, you should follow your advice then. What do you mean? I mean, if you don't say things like that, I won't either, Mom. Seriously, Mom, I'm more than happy with this life. I don't want to even take a small chance of ruining it for myself. And I implore you to not do either. It's not like marriage is the be-all and end-all of all existence. But it is. It's not, Mom, and I shall prove that to you. It's very difficult to lead your life by yourself, you know. I agree it is, Mom, but I'm not alone, am I? I have you with me. I won't be here forever. Neither will I, Mom, I would say, our argument coming a full circle before she would realize that I was not going to give in. I would gain 1 month of peace and freedom from being tried to be bundled off with the next gentleman that crossed her path. As they say, man proposes and God disposes, and that is exactly what happened one fine day when I met the most amazing man in the world and fell in love promptly with him, forgetting all my lofty ambitions of proving to Mom that I could lead my life alone. Mom, of course, was the happiest person on the earth when she came to know about this new development in my life and got started on planning our wedding long before he proposed to me. No surprises there, too. It broke my heart when I had to leave her to move in with him. I almost did not go through with it, but had to give in when Mom started to threaten to run away to the Himalayas if I did not do so. I left her reluctantly cursing myself for having set in motion the chain of events that had led to this. What else had I expected when I had allowed myself to fall in love? It was my fault, really, no one but myself to blame. None of it would have happened had I not met my husband. I looked at him as he pulled me close. Mom must be in bed now, surely. Oh, how she must be missing me. She must be tossing and turning around. I need to call her, I whispered as I ran out without a backward glance. What? Hello? Hello, Mom? You? I love you, Mom. What are you calling me at this hour on your wedding day? Not that it's a surprise, though. Were you sleeping, Mom? No, dear. I was watching a movie. But you never stay up this late, Mom. Yes, that's because I used to be so tired looking after you that I wouldn't be able to keep my eyes open. So are you saying that it's good to have me out of the house? I asked, tears welling up in my eyes. Yes, dear. Mom, oh, please go and join your husband before he drives you out. A part of me wishes he would. How many times have I warned you against talking without thinking, dear? I miss you, Mom, so much. I miss you too, my love. Why does it have to be this way? Because it does. Good night. I heard her hang up before I had a chance to say anything. I looked up to see my husband looking at me. I stood there looking at him sheepishly, not knowing quite what to do. Mama's little girl, aren't we still? He said, extending his hand to me. I moved away, tears flowing down my cheeks, burying my face in my hands. I don't believe this, he said. I looked up to see him laughing his head off. I could not believe it that he could actually be laughing at my misery. Such a huge mistake I had made choosing to leave Mom for this insensitive brute. He was treating me like an 8-year-old. How unfair. I started to say something, but all I could do was to join him in his laughter. And that was quite definitely a surprise, and it felt good. Very, very good. I want to go visit Mom first thing in the morning. No surprise there, he said, as we walked back hand in hand. The end.
तो कैसा लगा आप लोगों को? How did you find the story? I thought it was a really heartwarming story on a mother-daughter bonding. Told from the point of view of the daughter, of course. Generally, we hear the mother's point of view, right? How much they love their daughters. But this was supposed to be from the perspective of a daughter, how much she loves and misses her mother. Again, I hope you like this story. If you have any feedback, please do send it out to me, sarah@kahanisuno.com. Also, I just wanted to remind you that these stories that we are narrating have come from our pens, or should I say our keyboards, Kabir's and mine at this point in time. We are in collaboration with other writers to bring their stories to you, definitely to increase the spectrum and reach of our stories. But do let us know what your feedback is, what you like, what you don't like. We are making great progress with the podcast, and we want to make sure that we are in line with our viewers' expectations. We couldn't have done this without you, and we would like to know more about what you think. Sarah@kahanisuno.com or Kabir@kahanisuno.com. And as always, thank you for listening. Thank you for your support. Keep listening. We will try to keep bringing you these amazing stories, original stories from Kabir and Sarah with the Kahani Suno with Kabir and Sarah podcast. This is Sarah signing off, guys. Thank you and have a great day ahead.